It is about Ora. That's her name. Ora in Hebrew means light, luce. She's 50 years old, more or less. She has 2 children. She's separated from her husband, and her youngest son, Ofer, is about to leave the army, to be released from the army after 3 tough years where he has served in the occupied territories, in roadblocks, and she waits almost desperately for the day that he will be out of the army and out of danger. And also she feels that being in the army and doing his service in these terrible places of the occupation, they hardened him. And he became tougher in an unpleasant way even. And she wants to believe that once he's out of the army, he will soften back and she will regain the child that he was, or the young man that he was before the army has confiscated him. And on the very day that he was supposed to be out of the army, which, by the way, they planned, she and Ofer, they planned to go to the Galilee, to the north of Israel, and to have a week of walking in the nature, only she and him, and they already prepared a backpack for him and for her. And on the last day of his service, when he was about to go and to be out of the army and to start his new life, Israel started another military operation in the occupied territories in the West Bank. And Ora discovers, to her deep disappointment and even hurt, insult, that Ofer chose to volunteer and to go with his friends to this military operation.
Volunteers?
Volunteers, yeah. It's doable. You can volunteer. And to choose the army and not to choose her. And he tells her when she finds out, and she explodes with rage and pain. How could you do it? And he says, listen, Ma, for 3 years I was trained especially for such military operations, and all my friends are there. How can I abandon them? After this military operation, I'll come and do this tour in the Galilee with you. And she brings him to the army, to the gathering point. And she does it automatically, because this is what we do when we have to...
Because it is duty, or...?
Well, it is his duty, but she wants to accompany him and to stay as long as possible with him, so she accompanies him to the gathering point.
But is it for her a duty to be a caring mother, or is it a duty to
It's a duty, and
to have the son available for the army?
It's both. It's both. It's her wish to be as much as she can with him until the last moment when she handles him to the army. It's also because this is the tradition in Israel.
To bring the kid.
To bring the kid, yeah. And it's also an instinct of a mother, you know. She wants to see what happens to him until the moment where she will not be able to see him, because he will belong to the army and to the war. And she brings him there, and she comes back home, and she starts to freak out. 2 things are on her mind. One is the question, how can it be that I'm more loyal to them, to the army and to the state and to the war, rather than to my child and to my motherhood to this child? How did I collaborate with it? And the second thought on her mind is this thought that something terrible will happen to him. She has very strong intuition. And in Israel, you don't know it, but I can tell you, there is this machinery of the army that if something happened to a soldier, they will, when they have the confirmation the authorities of the army, they will knock on your door.
The confirmation of death.
Yeah, they will knock on your door at any moment, in the middle of the night, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they will come and they will throw the news at your face. They just have almost a little speech that they do, and they just throw it at your face, as if at that moment they delivered the death to you.